everyone, before we jump in, just want to say this right off the bat, don't worry, this isn't a change to the channel. If you're here for the usual deep dives into the unknown, the unexplained, and the downright unbelievable, that's not going anywhere. But with Friday the 13th landing just next week, I figured we'd have a little bit of fun and do a one-off ranking of the entire Friday the 13th movie series. No lore changes, no channel rebrand, just Jason, hockey masks, and questionable life choices for one video only. So let's count them down from worst to best. And yes, I already know some of you are going to disagree. These are my rankings, and I'm going to place them in order from worst to best, how much I enjoy and entertained I am. So be prepared. There may be some slightly controversial picks here and there, but hey, all have our own opinions. What makes the horror community so great. So if you disagree, which I'm sure you will, remember it's not the end of the world. No one's died apart from the 200 odd victims of Jason Voorhees. So put your rankings or thoughts in the comments below, and let's have a nice respectful chat. Like I said, this is just a one-off. All the other content is still coming. It's just Friday the 13th, and how often does that happen? Hardly ever. So apart from next month as well. Maybe I'll do another one then, but who knows. So check out my Crystal Lake Massacre video if you want. I'll put a link into that to the end of the video there. Okay, so let's just slash our way through the rankings, shall we? Let's kick off this ranking then with the worst of these movies, which I think is Freddy versus Jason. I really don't like this movie. It's never one that I overly rewatch. I think I've probably seen it 3 or 4 times. I did watch it last year again just to check see if it changed. It hadn't. It's still absolutely shite in my opinion. There's so many things that are bad about this from a Friday the 13th perspective. Maybe if you're a Freddy fan, you might like this more than Friday the 13th people do. That's possible. It seems more like a sort of Freddy film. Freddy's never been my kind of guy. He's not my favorite one of the serial killers. I prefer Michael Myers or Jason. I think after the first 2 Nightmare on Elm Streets, he sort of becomes parody of himself, and it gets worse and worse and worse as it goes down. But when it comes to Jason in this film, he's so bad. There's nothing in this that I can really grab hold of and say that, yeah, this is really great. This is the Jason that I love. Ken Kirzinger is, I think, just too robotic. I don't like the mask. I don't like the way Jason looks. I don't like the overuse of CGI in this. I think it looks absolutely terrible. That bit where he turns the bloke's head around and like that just looks so shit. I don't like I said, the bit when Jason's on fire. That's kind of cool. And you know when he's going around the cornfield, that's nice enough. And the fight at the end, I suppose, is okay. But yeah, he's just there's nothing in Ken Kirzinger's performance that really sort of puts him above the other Jasons or anything like that. He's too robotic, the way he walks, the way he moves. There's no nuances the other guys sort of put into the character there. Jason isn't the most charismatic, sort of guy in the world, but just a few little touches there, here and there, just to kind of make it his own. He just walks around like a robot. I really don't like it. The acting is terrible. I don't mind bad acting. All these films are terrible acting in them at some stages, but bad overacting is worse than bad acting to me. Wooden acting is fine. I grew up watching Doctor Who from the 60s and 70s, so I know what bad acting is. But over the top bad acting, like that guy who does his Nicolas Cage business when he's talking about his mate being killed. The way they're so serious, the guys talk about, every single line is so serious. It's like there's no sort of comedy or anything like that. It's just really bad. I just really hate this film. There's nothing in it for me. I'm sure you guys like it, but yeah, it's right down at the bottom by a long way. Actually, it's really bad. Moving on to the next one, it is Jason Goes to Hell: The Final Friday. What were they thinking here? Why is Jason not in this anymore? He's in at the beginning and he's in at the end. That's all you see of him. Everyone at this point, they wouldn't have had Jason for about 4 or 5 years. You want to see Jason, but he gets the first scene is good, where it sort of subverts your expectations, and Jason gets blown up. But then where does it go from there? What do you always think? What's going to happen now? But it's just shit. This is not a Jason film. If it wasn't a Jason film, it might be okay. The kills are pretty grim. Some of the effects are good. That the tent scene is, especially the unrated version, that's pretty good. But I don't know why Jason's now sort of wandering around. He's got a sort of shaving fetish, or he's got beef with moustaches or whatever. It's kind of just sloppily put together. It's just a weird film. But it's not a Friday the 13th film. I understand that's probably what they were going for, trying to get it away from, the Paramount years, and trying to change it around, seeing what they could do with, what's basically just a premise of just a slasher. How far can you go from that? But again, it's not great. I don't like the fact that Jason grunts all the time, like when he is on screen, like when he's getting shot, he's grunting all the time. I don't like the way he looks like a janitor or something. He looks like, and he's got that big meatball head thing, which is kind of cool, but it's not great. It's probably Kane Hodder's worst performance as Jason, even though he's in it like fleetingly. I don't know where all these family members of Jason have just appeared from after all these years. There are some funny good bits in it. Like I said, some of the kills are good. I always did like as a kid that one where the lady's chin gets squashed in. That's pretty good. And the characters can be entertaining. Creighton Duke, he's okay. Where's he been for the last 8 movies, though? Has he just been doing what he's done at the beginning, just sat around watching Jason? Or when's he ever going to do anything? Why is he just appearing now? But yeah, again, it's not great. It's not a rewatchable one for me. There you go. Friday the 13th, the final Friday. Crap. Pretty standard up to now, but my next pick is the first one, Friday the 13th from 1980. I'm sorry, guys. The purists who love this one, again, I don't like this. This is absolutely boring, this film. It's okay. Obviously, it started the franchise, but when you look at how other franchises were started, when you look at the first Halloween movie, when you look at the first Nightmare on Elm Street movie, they're brilliant. They really are. This is not good. It's for me. It looks like it's just been cobbled together. It's so boring. It's so padded for a film that's probably only 85 minutes long. It's just so dull. At points, it's just so boring. There's nobody in here that character-wise that I really can latch onto and like. Alice is boring. Steve Christie's got a great moustache, but that's all he's got. He's a perv. Who else have we got in there? You've got Kevin Bacon, who's just there with his boner. And everyone else, it's just crap. Crazy Ralph's okay, I suppose, but they don't do anything with him. He just appears and then he sort of just goes away again. Mrs. Voorhees, she's brilliant. Okay, I'll give you that. Her performance, Betsy Palmer's performance as Mrs. Voorhees, I do like. She absolutely can. She portrays sort of really mental, but like a person you'd meet who's really mental, not like just a film nutter who this person's mental. She's like someone who you can meet in the you can speak to in the pub and then they'll say something and you go, stay away from her. She's a nutter. So she's great. But why doesn't she appear at any point beforehand? Why are we not introduced to her at some point? Just say, oh, right, so of course it's her. Do you know what I mean? She just turns up in a Jeep. And how is she doing all this? How is she just going from place to place, picking up people and chucking them through windows and stuff like that? This little old lady. She's probably about my age, actually, so not old, but just this little lady. How is this happening? So yeah, okay, I understand. It started the franchise, and that's great. But for me, yeah, it's too dull. You've got the 3-hour long sort of scene where Alice makes like a cup of tea or something, which had me on the edge of my seat and always does. Not too fussed about killing the snake, but whatever. And then she's throwing sort of cotton balls and like whatever at Mrs. Voorhees, and she's really bad, Mrs. Voorhees, in the final act. She just gets bashed around all over the place. Obviously, Tom Savini's works is great, but some of the kills are good. I like the axe in the head. I like when Kevin, obviously the Kevin Bacon kill, and the end kill of Mrs. Voorhees when she gets her head chopped off. That's brilliant. So shout out obviously to Tom Savini. And then finally, yeah, okay, it's good. The final jump scare where Jason turns up at the end there, that's brilliant. But apart from that, it just jars for me. It's just too slow. But yeah, sorry about that. Part 1, very low down. Following up from the original, it is part 7, The New Blood. I don't like this one either. This is the last of the ones that I don't really like. Everything from now on, it's rewatchable. I have a lot of enjoyment from them. This one is, okay, nearly. Obviously, it was butchered by the powers that be. So all the kills that sort of the director wanted to put in there, they couldn't actually show anything really. Jason looks brilliant. He does. Kane Hodder's first performance. I think he's a little bit too enthusiastic with his breathing and stuff like that. But the look of Jason, yeah, he's good. Don't really like his face when when we finally see it. It looks a bit sort of caricature-y for me. But yeah, Jason's okay. But I don't know what's his game here. What's he up to? He just sort of appears. He's walking around the woods. He's not doing anything. Just appears here and there. And yeah, so it's kind of strange. None of the characters in this one are any good at all. They're all acted badly. They're all sort of terrible performers. That you don't remember any of them. I don't even know the names of them. I must have watched this one, hundreds of times, but I still don't know the names of most of them. I just refer to them as, like beer drinking bloke or pants man who wanders around in his Y fronts. And that the ugly bird who has a makeover and ends up looking worse. So nobody memorable. The bitch lady's okay, I suppose. Melissa, I think her name is. And the way she gets killed is the best kill, I think, of the film. But the Carrie stuff as well, it's just too far-fetched for me. I don't... Bless her, Larpart Lincoln. I don't think she's great in this. And there's no chemistry whatsoever between her and Nick or Rick or Dick or whatever he's called. Yes, it's pretty poor. That her mum is probably one of the most hated characters. I can't stand her voice. Her hair is atrocious. So yeah, this is not a great entry for me. It's not one that I rewatch. I was really gutted as well when I was a kid because this was the last one that I watched. It was sort of one that I could never get my hands on. The movie sort of store didn't rent this one out. It was the only one missing. So when I finally got my hands on it, I was so looking forward to it, and I was so disappointed. So it's not one of the best. Friday the 13th, The New Blood is here, I'm afraid. Thank you. Following on from part 7, we have Jason X. Now, this would have been lower in my original rankings if I'd have done it a few years ago. But I did rewatch this last year, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. Obviously not the best. I mean, it's awful in places. The CGI is absolutely shite. The characters are a bit like non-entities. And it doesn't really make any sense, but yeah, it's just a fun romp through space, isn't it? You've got the best kill potentially in the series in here with the we all know the one with the liquid nitrogen there. I don't know how Jason knew it was liquid nitrogen. I don't know if he's been reading up on something when he's been asleep, but I don't know how he knew that was going to happen, but yeah, that's great. The cyber sex stuff, that's not for me. Kane Hodder's good in that, in this one. So yeah, it's a good romp through space. Some of the characters are notable, I suppose. You've got the Professor guy, glad when he gets killed, and you've got Brodsky or whatever he's called. He's a good dude. It doesn't take itself too seriously. That's great. As a laugh, but not our Jason. Jason's still pretty cool. Uber Jason, obviously, that's a change in direction and pretty good. And then you've got the bit where they go back to Crystal Lake, when he's having the flashback kind of thing, like that as well. So all in all, just a fun romp around space, really. If you're going to put Jason in space, this is probably the way you had to do it. So yeah, I do enjoy this one. I'll probably watch it again in a few days' time. So yeah, do like that. Jason X, there we go. Thank you very much. Okay, everything from now on, I do actually really, really like going forward. So it's just the way they're jumbled together, starting with the remake. So it's it's a good show. Jason is an absolute beast in this one. Derek Mears is, I think, one of the. It's a shame we didn't see more of Derek Mears. I wish there would have been a sequel to this. He was really good, Jason. Brutal, fast, horrible. The opening sort of 20 minutes that we see before the film kicks in, that's pretty much perfect. That is, if you were to make a sort of a short film about what Friday the 13th was, that might be it, just there in those sort of 18 minutes or so. Some horrible kills in this one. When she's getting burnt in the sort of sleeping bag, that's horrible. The way Jason runs up to the guy and just whacks him with the machete, yeah, that's great as well. You've also got the pervert fella who's knobbing his mannequin. I love it when he gets off. That's when Jason finds his mask. That's pretty good. You've got everything you wanted from a Friday the 13th movie in this one. You've got your boobs, you've got your blood, horrible deaths. What's not to like, really? It's not higher because it doesn't quite have the feel of what I'm looking for in sort of everything. The Friday the 13th films are the 80s to me, and this is a bit too polished. It's a bit too Michael Bay, so that everyone slags off Trent because he's a horrible character. He's supposed to be a horrible character. He's a wanker. That's why we hate him. We want to see him get killed. I wish his death, though, would have been worse. His death should have been the most brutal death that anyone in all of the Friday the 13th films has ever, suffered at the hands of Jason. But the way he dies isn't great. But yeah, he's a knobhead and he dies, so that's fine. What else can you say about this? It is pretty good. The characters are okay. I like the fact that the brother's looking for his sister, that she's gone missing. He's trying to find her. I don't like Jason holding her hostage for all those weeks, though, just because he looks like her mum a little bit. This Jason's obviously got some intelligence because he sort of made these. Well, he might not have made them, but he uses the underground tunnels and he sort of uses the lake as this sort of area. He's got traps everywhere, so there's obviously a bit of intelligence there. But I don't like that bit. And I don't like the fact Jason wears a shirt. Never have done that. With the shirt open with a t-shirt. That's not the look for Jason. But yeah, great. I'm gutted that they didn't have a sequel to this one. So yeah, the remake. Thumbs up from me. Next up on the ranking is Friday the 13th Part 2. Now, I know I'm probably going to get a lot of shit for this, but remember, this is all about how I feel. This is the entertainment side I get from it. And a lot of people have this higher. I think it's okay. I think it's great. It is really a good film. It's sort of a rehash of the original, but done better. The characters are more relatable. I like Ginny. I like Paul. Ned's okay. He's a bit of a dick, isn't he? But you need a dick in a film. He doesn't die, though, which, would have made it better. You've got Sandra and Jeff, Mark, and I think Vicky. They're all cool characters. But to me, I just prefer the other films in the series more to this for reasons I'll give later. So, yeah, very serviceable film. Lots of suspense. Jason's a bit meh in this one. I do like the look of Sackhead Jason, but he's a bit of a dunce, isn't he? Come on, he's not the best. But he's learning his trade, so I'll let him off. He's just getting into the slasher field, so he's probably just doing his apprenticeship or something. Ginny and Paul are great together. It does drag a bit as well. Crazy Ralph is again wasted. He just turns up and gets killed somehow. He manages to put that sort of garrote wire over a whole tree. And rather than flipping it around the side, so I don't know what that's about. So Jason's obviously got his powers then. I like the idea, the fact that Jason's been living in a shack all this time, and when the big fat copper goes and finds him, how does he run so fast? He looks out of shape, but he manages to get that fine. Cool. He's obviously quite a fit guy. There's another top 5 kill in this one with old Mark. I don't know why the Vicky girl goes to get changed to look all sexy and puts those horrible rotten pants on and then puts some fragrance down there. Just have a wash. That's just pretty. I'm glad she died. Ginny, everyone talks about Ginny as their favorite final girl. She's always up there. To me, she isn't. I think she's quite down. She pisses herself, which you really shouldn't do. just because she saw a rat, like she's been chased by a serial killer, and she doesn't piss herself, and then a little rat that sets her off. Fine. But yeah, she doesn't do anything when like Paul's fighting with Jason in that final scene. She just sort of stands there. She doesn't like hit him over the head with like a plate or something, which she pretty much could have done. And I'm not sure. The ending really annoys me because we don't know when this sort of, does any of it happen once she gets to the shack? Is that does that is that an actual thing, or is that all part of her dream? Is Paul alive? We don't know. Obviously, we know that Jason in part 3, when it goes back, he's lying in his shack with the machete out. So obviously, the scene at the end where Jason comes through the window isn't real and Muffin's not alive. But again, where's Paul? We never know. I don't like the way how it's wrapped up. So it's a bit confusing. So yeah, it's in the middle for me. I do love it. I will watch it, and I watch it quite a lot, 2 or 3 times a year. But there are others on this list which I do favour. So that is part 2. Next, we have Friday the 13th, part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Now, shoot me if you want to, but I love this as a kid. I still love it now. It holds so much nostalgia for me. I'm not one of those who's fussed about the New York thing. Okay, they could rename it. But yeah, Jason's on a boat for most of the film. Fine. He's in New York for about 5 minutes. Fine. It's not really what I'm after. I didn't watch the film and think, can't wait to see Jason in New York, and now I'm pissed off that he's not in New York for most of the film. It's just a Friday the 13th film, and it's in a different location. It's on a boat, which is fine. It's my favourite look of Jason. I love the glossy, horrible look. I do love the mask in this one. This is Kane Hodder's best performance for me. He's toned down the sort of heavy breathing. There's still a little bit of that, but it's not over the top. It's also got one of my favourite characters of the series in it. That's Charles McCulloch. He's an absolute knob. The Columbo villain that never was. He would have been the best Columbo villain. Also, the bitch is fun in this one. Tamara, I think her name is. That's pretty good. That pretty cool scene where she's trying to seduce him. That's funny. I just have a good time with this one. There are some good kills in this one, when he's got Kelly Hugh and he's sort of strangling her, and that looks horrible. What a way to go. And also when he kills the crackheads, and also Julius when he punches his head off. Pretty good kills. All of the other kills, kind of cutaways. There's not much gore in this one. But yeah, it's fine. It's good. I enjoy it. Rennie's pretty shit as a final girl, probably one of the worst. There's no personality to her at all. Also, she kills her mentor, like her teacher, and doesn't bat an eyelid. It's her fault. She drives straight through because she sees Jason, even though he's not there, and then crashes, and she blows up, and then she just goes on about herself again, and then just walks off. So yeah, she's pretty shit. Scott's pretty shit as well, as the second. He's got nothing to him at all. But yeah, I do like part 8. Obviously it's a bit weird that the fact that Crystal Lake is now just goes to the Atlantic Ocean and then can go off to New York. Fine. Okay. Just put that to the side. But yeah, that's part 8 for me. Pretty high. Okay, so next in the list is part 3, Friday the 13th, part 3. This has got its flaws, that is without a doubt. The 3D aspect doesn't really work. There's so many shots in there that are just put in there just for the purposes of 3D, bring nothing to the plot at all. It does drag as well a little bit, this one. The acting is pretty bad as well, in comparison to some of the Oscar-worthy, performers we've had before. Apart from one, there's a standout performer in this one, which I absolutely love, and I think she only just lost out to Meryl Streep for the best Oscar for this year. So that's a shame. But yeah, the acting's pretty bad, but the characters are good. Shelley's good. Shelley's, you remember these people. Rick's a bit of a dunce. Fine. So yeah, character-wise, I do like the biker gang. They're okay. Loco and Fox and Ali. Don't know what Ali does though. If you're gonna be knocked out, just stay knocked out. Just see it through. Just see it through to the end of the day, or don't run up behind shouting. Just stab him in the back of the head. So so he sort of fucked himself really. It's got kind of charm, this one. It doesn't look like the others. It doesn't look like the first two, and it doesn't look like four. I know it's because they moved to sort of LA for the filming. It looks a bit different. Crystal Lake shit in this one, but it does have its charm. It would be this one and two are pretty much sort of level pegging until we get to the last 20 minutes, which I think is brilliant. Now, Chris, I think, is up there with the best final girls, just because the fact she takes it to Jason so much. She chases after him, she stabs him, she gives as good as she gets. She tries to run over him, she hangs the fucker. Yeah, she's pretty brilliant. Utter nutter though, so I wouldn't, she's not girlfriend material, and she's potentially a liar as well, making stuff up about Jason. There's no proof that he tried to do what she said he did. So, I don't necessarily believe her, but yeah, she's mental, so she takes it to him. There's a couple of scenes in this one. Let's talk about Richard Brooker as Jason, where he is absolutely a force of nature in this one. He's brilliant. He is the best iteration of Jason up to this point. There's the scene where he shoots Vera with the spear gun, and he just throws the gun he looks at her and just throws the gun down. Oh yeah, done with business. What's going on now? Brilliant. Love that bit. And the bit that always got me as a kid, it always scared me, is when Chris hangs Jason and he's revealed himself. He lifts his mask up and she knows who he is. But then he pulls his mask back down, but he never takes his eye off her. And you can see his eyes, and he just always creeped me out. And there's just the way he was after her then. Yeah, it really gave me the shit me up as a kid. I love this film. I watch it. It's on in the background. So if it is on in the background, I could just sort of do whatever I want to do for an hour. But then I will have to watch the last 20 minutes because I think they're brilliant. That's why it's so high, basically because of the last 20 minutes. I think it's really good. Apart from the end, obviously, with Mrs. Voorhees coming out in the lake. That's a load of shit. They obviously just tacked on just because they had to do exactly what they'd done in the last two movies. That's why it's quite high. I do like part 3. Following on from part 3, it's part 5, A New Beginning. This is quite high, and I know I'm probably going to get shit for this, but I do love this movie. And I'll tell you why, because it's got the most quotable lines in the whole franchise, and in my opinion, the best characters. Let's run through them. So you've got Ethel, who is up there with Charles McCulloch. Probably, Ethel is my favorite character in the whole series. You have got, you've got Demon. You have got Reggie the Reckless. You've got the Grandpa. You've got Tommy Jarvis. You've got Junior. You've got all these people. Even the ones who are only in it for a scene, like the sort of grungy biker fellas or whatever they're supposed to be. What's it called? The ones who dress like the guys from Greece. Don't know what they're doing in there. Don't know who they are, but in the scenes that are in there, pretty good. You've got Lana and that Micro Machines man who gets an axe in the head. They're good too. This is really quotable. I love this film. It just goes really fast for me every time I watch it. The kills aren't great. I can't really name a standout kill. Maybe the one with the belt around the head. That's pretty disgusting. And when she gets her eyes sort of munched out. Everyone goes on about the fact that Jason isn't in it. But you wouldn't know it's not Jason until the last 2 minutes. So what are you moaning about? It does everything that Jason does. It's just at the end, you're a bit like, oh, okay, it was Roy. What's the same as going, oh, it's like Mrs. Voorhees at the beginning, in the first one. So what's the difference? Fat Joey as well, and Vic. That's a great scene that comes out of nowhere. Glad he got that, because he's an absolutely horrible man in real life, Big Fat Joey. I will special shout out to Ethel. The best bit for me is the bit when she says she's got a bomb on her. Just the way it's obvious that she's like not planned to say that, but it just comes out. Love it. When the sheriff obviously knows who Ethel is. He's had loads of morning, Ethel. Love it. Love it all. Demon in the shitter as well. That's great. I just think this is good. Tommy's not brilliant. He's probably the worst iteration we have of Tommy Jarvis, but he does a decent job. Ripped to fuck as well, so yeah. Very sweaty all the time. Doesn't say much. But yeah, I always, as a kid, loved this film. It didn't bother me, maybe because I was so young when I saw it, and I saw it straight after part 4, so it kind of made sense. Yeah, part 5 is pretty high for me. Sorry about that. Okay, in second place we have Jason Lives, Friday the 13th, part 6. This could alternate with the top position, depending on my mood. I love this movie. I really do. It's one of my favorite. It's in my top 20 of all films of all time, which means the other one is also in the top 20. I love this movie. I do. It actually looks and feels like a movie rather than just a slasher movie. It's the best directed. It's really stylish. The way it's sort of set up, it's got sort of a plot, which is weird for these films. I can't stress how brilliant this film is. It doesn't really date at all either. I know it was made in 1986, and obviously everyone looks at 1986, but you can put it on now, and it looks like a movie that's made now, but set in 1986 rather than a movie that was filmed in 1986. That's how it's good. It's got the best set pieces. You've got the resurrection of Jason at the beginning. That's an absolute classic piece, and the scene in the RV is absolutely brilliant. Jason has suddenly become cool. The way he just the best bit for me in this with Jason is probably in that RV scene, and it's not the bit where he pushes the woman's head through the wall, which is great. It's the bit he slowly stalks behind Court when he's about to stab him in the head. We know what's coming. It's just the tension. You know what's going to happen. What's he going to do? Is he going to twist his head off? Is he going to, just push him through the window? He's going to stab him. I think that's brilliant. The soundtrack, of course, is awesome. And also in my top 3 characters, along with Ethel and along with Charles McCulloch, we have Sheriff Garris, who is a brilliant character. He's obviously, most of these films, you'll have a copper who's an absolute really bad copper or just a twat. He is neither of those. He is a good copper, and he is just looking after his turf. He's got this nutcase coming in saying that Jason's alive, doesn't want any of this shit. Of course, he's not going to believe him straight away. But I just think he's really good. The acting in this one is top tier for these type of movies. There's not a bad performance, I don't think, apart from that girl who's a girl, so that's fine. The Nancy girl or whatever who's called, who says that Jason's killed. Don't know what she's trying to say there. Megan's great as well. Tom Matthews, top performance, absolutely brilliant. You've got another top 5 kill. The way Garris is dispatched and the way they deal with Jason in the end is absolutely brilliant. This is a really top film. If you're looking to introduce someone to horror movies from the 80s, I'd say potentially put this one and say this is great. You'll have a fun time. The music, both the theme, the Alice Cooper stuff, the song, the animal song, when they're knobbing around, that's brilliant, and the incidental music as well. I can't fault this film. It's only not number 1 because it's number 2. And finally, at number 1, we have part 4, which is the final chapter. This is, I would say, the best slasher film, full stop, from the 80s. If you were to design a slasher film from scratch of the 80s, this would hit every single beat. It is absolutely brilliant. I saw it when I was probably 8 years old, and I loved it then, and I love it now. This is probably the most pissed off version of Jason that we've got. He's been axed in the head. He's gone through shit. He wakes up and he's on it now. Anyone who gets in his way is fucked, and they are fucked because he's fucking brutal to every single person he kills in this one. I also love all the characters in this one, apart from a couple of non-entities in there. What's his name? Paul. Don't know much about him. He doesn't do anything. And is it Doug? Again, doesn't do anything apart from get his head squashed, which is absolutely brilliant kill. You've got Crispin Glover in here. You've got Corey Feldman. You've got the bird from Weird Science. Absolutely brilliant. I love spending time with these characters. They are fun to be around, and it's not disappointing when they die, because you know they're going to die, but it's just waiting to see how they die. Ted's great as well. He's an arsehole, but you love an arsehole. He's just a harmless knobhead. It's really scary as well. Not many of the films are scary. I was scared by Jason in part 3. I thought he was just weird, and in a good way, scary weird. But this is actually a scary film. It's dark, it's mysterious. They keep Jason in the shadows for most of the time, even though you know it's him, because you've seen at the beginning where they've got that brilliant sort of sequence where they before they start the film, where Paul's from part 2 is talking over, and they've got that little montage there. So you know it's Jason, you know what he looks like, but he's hidden. And you've got some particularly brutal kills. You've got Axel getting his head ripped off. You've got the what's it called? The spear gun in the bollocks. That's horrible. And when he a great bit of directing when he stabs the twin with the pole and then chucks her up against the wall. It's all done through shadows. Brilliant. Jason's sort of, I don't know how he gets from place to place and why he kills people in the order he does. Doesn't really work out on a rewatch if you think about it, where he's gone from here up to there, and then why has he gone there, why has he just skip? Doesn't matter. I think it's brilliant. I like the Rob character. He's a bit of a wet rag in the end. He doesn't really do anything. And I thought the bit where he gets killed could have been improved if it was filmed just a little bit lighter. It's too dark to see what's going on. I understand what they were trying to do, and it is kind of creepy. A lot of people laugh at the fact that he's saying, "Oh, he's killing me, he's killing me." I think it's kind of scary, really. The final chase sequence, again, is brilliant in this one. Trish is brilliant as a sort of a final girl. And then you've got Tommy, and you've got Tom Savini's work on this one, which is absolutely top tier. I can't stress how much I love this movie. It's in my top 10 of films of all time. It's probably top 5, I'd say. I just love it. Everything from start to end. I really can't say anything bad about that, apart from the Rob bit, which I have mentioned. But yeah, this is my best film, my best Friday the 13th film. I know I'm not alone. This is usually in the sort of up there or roundabouts. But yeah, that is my ranking. That is Friday the 13th from worst to best. Okay, hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. If you've stuck through till the end of this ranking, just a bit of fun, like I said, just for Friday the 13th coming up. If you did like it, like and subscribe, and put your comments in the section below. I want to know what you think. What's your favourite kill? What's your favourite film? What's your worst film? Who's your favourite character? All that stuff that we talk about, you know, in the horror community. For those who love Echoes of the Unknown and have done for a while, like I said before, nothing's going to change. I'll be back with some more content later this week, actually. So I've got something planned. So stick around for that. Again, like and subscribe. And maybe next Friday the 13th, if you like this video, I'll do a next one. It's only next month, so let me know. Thank you very, very much indeed. Enjoy. See you later.